Hi gang, this is your favorite crazy diamond-loving Shintoist Reigetsu again, and in my channel I correctly explain the gods of Japan, the Japanese mythology, and the native philosophy of Japan, Shintoism, like no one else. Today we go back to the Kojiki to continue with the correct explanation of the Japanese mythology with the sixth god to appear, Kuni-no-Tokotachi-no-Kami, who is also the first to appear as the new group of gods, Kami-o-Nanayo. This god is, if not the most confusing, complicated, and the most debated god so far, with so many different beliefs regarding it. And yes, it is an it because it is stated that it is also a formless, shapeless, and genderless god, just like the Kotowa-Metsukami. Please check their video out to find out more on the first true gods of Japan. Continuing with the Kojiki. 次になりませる神の皆は国の床たちの神, which simply means the next god to have appeared was Kuni-no-Tokotachi-no-Kami, written in ancient Japanese. Name dissection time. Kuni means earth or country. Toko means eternal. Toko also comes from tokonoma, which is the most elevated place within the traditional Japanese houses, having the symbolism of this god standing above all the others surrounding it. Kami means god. So the name would mean the god that maintains the earth, or maybe only Japan in this case, eternally. With this god, we have another duality now. The first one was with Takami Musubi no Kami, the supreme god of Takamahara, and with Kami Musubi no Kami, the supreme god of Toyoashihara Mizuho no Kuni. Please check out these two gods by clicking the links above. Ignore the goofy intros. The second duality now would be with Ame no Tokotachi-no-Kami, the god that maintains Takamahara eternally. Please check out its video to know more. And with Kuni-no-Tokotachi-no-Kami, which will be doing the same but for Earth or Japan. Don't get them confused. They are all different and have different functions. Kuni-no-Tokotachi-no-Kami is the god that established the foundation for the country or the land that will form as Japan later on. It is the supreme godification, the supporter and the guardian of eternal maintenance of the land of the rising sun. Since the world was not yet fully established at this point in the Kojiki and was just in its liquid form, and with the appearance of this god, the separation between Takamahara and Toyoashihara Mizuho no Kuni was finally formed. Speaking in scientific terms, if the Kotowa-Metsukami are the Big Bang, the universe, time, and space, then Kuni-no-Tokotachi-no-Kami would be everything within the universe, such as planets, comets, asteroids, etc. When does it appear in the Kojiki? Just this once, and
nevermore.
Even though it might be the sixth god to appear, it is ultra important and one of the higher ups in the god hierarchy. Even in Koshinto, it is also ultra important, maybe more than Izanagi no Okami and Izanami no Okami. Ironically, this is actually the first god to ever appear in the Nihon Shoki, also called Kuni-no-Sokotachi-no-Mikoto-sama. In Nihon Shoki, it is a male god due to it being a yang energy god. In the Arufumi, it was the second god to appear, while the first one would be Ame no Tokotachi-no-Kami. Some say these two are the same gods. Here's where things get really confusing and weird when we look at the other ramifications of Shinto and see what each clan says about this god. In Yoshida Shinto, this was the first god of Japan as written in the Nihon Shoki, and they consider Kuni-no-Tokotachi-no-Kami the same as Ame no Minakanushi-no-Kami. Check out my video on its explanation. In the Hotsumatsu-tae, the ancestor of the Kiki, which is considered to be fake by Kiki itself, it is written that Ame no Minakanushi-no-Kami reincarnated as Kuni-no-Tokotachi-no-Kami. The Omotokyo says it's a dragon god. These guys say this god is a golden dragon as big as Japan, and from it, many Aragamis were born. This god in its dragon form is called Kuni-no-Tokotachi-no-Kami, and in its human form is called Kuni-no-Tokotachi-no-Kami. They believe it has a human form. The Omotokyo also believed that this god was the absolute ruler of Japan, but was hated by the other gods due to its strictness, and they sealed it inside the Kimon, and it became Enma Daio after spending more than 3,000 years in the spirit world. Kimon is the direction of the year of the ox and tiger, which is the worst direction, by the way. So this god is also called Ushitora no Konjin by them, which is just a different name for the same god. It's also the supreme god of Omotokyo, which also says it is the same god as Ame no Minakanushi no Kami. Maybe this was one of the leaders of the ancient tribes who were the first occupants of Japan way before the tales of Kojiki were told. In the Hitsuki Shinji, if not the most important book of prediction of Japan, written by Okamoto Tenmei, a member of the Omotokyo, while he was supposedly being possessed by Kuni-no-Tokotachi-no-Kami itself, the following warnings were given to them with many others. I will share a few. Number 1. The 8 misfortunes of fire, water, earth, wind, lightning, light, darkness, and poison are upon us Japanese once again. The 8 misfortunes are pointing to Jashin Yamata no Orochi, mistakenly called the 8-headed serpent that wreaked havoc in Japan long ago. Jashin Yamata no Orochi is about to be reborn, and we must summon and call upon the mighty power of our storm god, Susano-O no Okami again.
I call upon the power of Pyramidas!
We need Ranshin Takehaya Susano-O no Okami's power again to save Japan from this catastrophe. Legends say when Susano-O no Okami vanquished Yamata no Orochi, they said they would be back to wreak havoc again, to which Susano-O no Okami swore that he would also be coming back to protect Japan from it when the time comes. This is a very well-known prophecy of Japan from the days of Susano-O no Okami. It is also said Kuni-no-Tokotachi-no-Kami will also be resurrected to rectify and save Japan after 3,050 years of being sealed away. Number 2. It warns to be careful with uncontrolled immigration and vile foreign influences, for it will poison Japan and its people with its kegare. Reality shows are one of them, which is one of the most ridiculous exercise in stupidity this world has ever seen, which unfortunately we the Japanese were also stupid enough to do. Number 3. Pay attention to Inari no Okami, or Uka no Mitama no Okami, because she is also the same as Toyouke no Okami, who is also Kuni-no-Tokotachi-no-Kami. Remember, this god is the god that rectifies earth and maintains balance, and Omotokyo says this is a god that has been sealed away for a long time and have just been released to maintain equilibrium on earth. Some Shintoists say this was the god which allowed the corona pandemic to occur to rectify earth. If this is true, the question is, did this pandemic start because it was just released from its seal, or because it hasn't been awakened yet like some say? According to Omotokyo, this god will determine how many dies and lives. Kinda similar to the Christian Judgment Day scenario. I have difficulty believing this because many Shintoists also say this is a Japanese god protecting only Japan, so that can't be possible. I tend to agree with the latter. In Ise Shinto, or Watarai Shinto, where I get my surname from, please check out my video on why we Shintoists change our names and how. considers Kuni-no-Tokotachi-no-Kami to be the most important god, which they also say is the same god as Toyouke-no-Okami, the goddess who supports Amaterasu Oomikami-sama. Maybe that's why the correct order of praying in Ise-jingu is to first pay your respect in the Geku, where she is honored, and then to Naiku, where Amaterasu Oomikami-sama is honored. They also say that Ame no Minakanushi no Kami, Toyouke no Okami, and Kuni-no-Tokotachi-no-Kami are the real triad, their version of the Zoka Sanshin. Please check out their video to find out more. Oh, and get this. Some even say this is the true god of Mount Fuji, which I will be explaining on another video. Where to go to meet this god? Quite a lot of shrines, so I just mentioned the most famous ones, not mentioning the secret ones only we know. Kuma no Hayatama Taisha in Shingu City in the Wakayama Prefecture. Ontake Jinja in Otaki Village in the Nagano Prefecture. Hie Jinja in the Chiyoda Ward in Tokyo. Otori Jinja in the Meguro Ward in Tokyo. Tamakui Jinja in Yoshino City in the Nara Prefecture, famously called the shrine that one goes only if he or she has been called to go. Yatsushiro Jinja in Yashiro City in the Kumamoto Prefecture. Mitsumine Jinja in Chichibu City in the Saitama Prefecture. On a stone of the hiden of this shrine, it is said that a dragon face suddenly appeared, as it is considered to be a dragon god. Taking picture of this and putting it as a screensaver to your cell phone is considered to be good luck. You can pray for pretty much anything since it is an omnipotent god, but most importantly, it is more common to pray for the safety and the prosperity of Japan. Also, since it protects Japan, another common thing to pray for would be for safe deliveries, businesses, farming, agriculture, and warding off evil spirits. Its powers are immeasurable for being one of the ancient gods. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And coming up, Toyokumonu no Kami, the ancient god of the clouds. Or is it? Stay tuned to find out. And as always, Yasaka!